one. Yep. 1983.
Yep. This game, this.
6 up.
There's no way you can win that game.
I know that. It doesn't. It hasn't learned.
Yeah,
It's
see,
only going to make
this
it
is how
play
they
itself.
make. This is just a
Yes,
good
number
example
player
of
Sarah.
AI. Player 0. I feel like, right, this is how you should train the AI lah. Make it play itself.
7.
Come on. Learn, goddammit.
Must be caught in the loop, storing more and more power from the rest of the system.
Let's try out the
9 numbers.
computation.
10. It's got the code. It's going to launch.
Colonel Conley, call SAC. Get me a launch status report. Major Dave, get me the president. Yes, sir.
So
Yeah.
I
So
don't
this.
I don't understand what's going on, but yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what happens is this. There's this movie called War Games 1983. So the military commissioned a computer, a supercomputer to you know to help them analyze and to interpret the wartime or how to respond. So because it's so primitive and so old, right? You notice that it's playing a game of tic-tac-toe. Tic-tac-toe is because something went wrong in the program, so it thinks that there's because the computer is also plugged into the actual nuclear to the actual to the real-time military computer. So it thinks that the United States is under attack, but in actual fact, it's actually a glitch in the computer system, the AI.
Okay.
So they make them, because right, they're trying to tell the AI, okay, in a nuclear war, nobody is the winner. So in order for him to learn, right, they put 0 as to let it play tic-tac-toe, and to put player 0, so it plays itself, because the player can't even do it fast enough. So after that, right, the next clip, right, that's where it start to make sense lah.
What's it doing?
It's learning.
Greetings, Professor Falcon.
Hello, Joshua.
Strange game. The only winning move is not to play. about a nice game of chess?
Because the launch, the nuclear missile is about to launch, but as it turns out, it's still a glitch in the computer. So they keep trying all the variation of the all the variation of all the strategy and all the moves. So what I'm saying about AI is that, same thing lah. They did all the variation. It's like you dump so much, it's like you throw in so much garbage into the AI just for him to come up with more different garbage.
Mm. No,
Same.
what you said, I just feel bad about our education because technically we are producing garbage like how we produce AI because everyone go to school, everyone get access to education, then we all learn the same thing. It's just like now society doesn't like human, doesn't like different. They want like a standard answer for every single thing. And we expect that from AI as well.
Now that you speak about it, right? Since you're in that topic, let me show you something funny.
Here's a phone from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Stay with me. Here's a car from today. And here's a car from 150 years ago. Big difference, right? Well, get this. Here's a classroom of today. And here's a class we used 150 years ago. Now, ain't that a shame? In literally more than a century, nothing has changed. Yet you claim to prepare students for the future? But with evidence like that, I must ask, do you prepare students for the future or the past?
It's true that the form factor of the education does not change, but one thing does change. I would say that 50% of them are female today. So in the
Yeah, well, you're right.
yeah, so I'm raised up under the environment that boys are bad, men are bad, because and then the class teacher will always find the best performing woman and say how bad the boys are performing. And I don't know, that's my the education that I receive. Not sure about yours.
I can't remember because half the time I don't know what's going on.
Having fun.
No, I really don't know what's going on because I'm like not even don't even know what's going on. So I'm like, whatever.
Wow. From primary school to high school?
Yep. Don't even know what's going on, man.
Are you
Didn't bother.
Sorry, what school do you went to? Mind share or
National school lah. SK and SMK lah.
okay.
Not, I never go to Chinese school because I can't even read and write Chinese.
And you never been to international school, right?
Never.
Okay. No, I just wonder like what's going on in our education. It's just I'm just curious. It's like because for me, I think Chinese school it's like very stressed and then there's always a direction. So I'm surprised that you don't know what happened, meaning the teacher don't know what happened and the teacher doesn't know what they should be doing. So that's
No, I mean to begin with, right, some people their cognitive function haven't even developed yet. And then you already, like you know how when you're a baby and you haven't even like what's it called? You haven't developed certain cognitive or the thing called realization.
Mhm.
Yeah, I haven't developed that. So that's why a lot of things I also like, oh okay, whatever. Oh, whatever. Okay, whatever. K.
Mm.
Because it's like, we're taught through rote memorization and motor function like to make us like remember through doing and repetition.
Actually,
Doesn't change.
Actually, what you talk about it, I found it very interesting. Maybe you know Lee Kuan Yew. I don't know whether you can find Lee Kuan Yew's interview about education.
Li Kuang or Li Kuan.
Lee Kuan Yew. You know the Singaporean? No, I mean talking about the Singapore.
Oh, okay. Lee
Yeah, Lee
Kuan
Kuan
Yew.
Yew. Yeah.
Okay, okay, Lee Kuan Yew. I thought you said
So,
Lee Kuang. You're like, huh?
so I'm a bit curious that he used the word programming. He don't say education, but he say programming. So in yeah, maybe programming language. I don't know because I remember, wow, like Hong Kong is going to be returned to
China.
China.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I
and
know what
then
you're talking about. Give me a moment. I know
Sure.
which video you're talking about.
because I'm the people who always forgot about everything. So you are the right guy. So he used the word programming. So for me, it's shocking that for him, right, or every single human in the world is just part of a program. It's like we are just some hard disk, like USB hard disk, and like the education system is to force us to download the programs and the data inside. So I don't know. I mean, he never say that, but when he used the word programming, when normally people use the word education, for me, it's a bit shocking.
Yeah. Actually, you were asking about China, right?
Yeah, I mean,
You're
he's
talking
asking,
about the part where he's
yeah, they are asking Lee Kuan Yew about his, because everyone say that Hong Kong is doomed, everything is doomed because it's not democracy, and China will make it like dead. And then he's talking about a bit about education, this and that, and
okay. I think I found the.
Determined and most important, sincere and
about the future of China and its relationship to Southeast Asia.
Oh wait.
Some people are saying that China is now so divided politically that there is no great danger for Southeast Asia in the future. Speaking as a Chinese who understands China, can you make an estimate or a guess as to the future of China? Do you think in the near future it will become again a unified country, a strongly unified country that might represent some kind of a danger to Southeast Asia?
first of all, I can't speak as a Chinese because I'm a Singaporean. I'm of Chinese ethnic stock, and I think this is
Chinese,
crucial. I mean,
yes.
if you ask me to speak as a Chinese...
As an ethnic Chinese.
Yeah, well, you know, the Chinese People's Republic in Peking will be, I think, quite rightfully indignant, and so will the other aspirant in Taipei. But speaking as a Singaporean, with some of the built-in memory programming of the Chinese people, I would say that if you believe that the Chinese people will just splinter up into so many warlord...
You know, here's something funny. I didn't know that he used the word programming at all. I was like, I didn't notice is that, you know.
yeah, because for me,
Exact words.
memory programming of the Chinese people,
Yes.
I would say...
Okay.
yes, yeah, that is what I was shocking. And then I think he used this word a lot more often than here, using the word programming. So for me, it's like, wow, a human, we talk about freedom, right? But actually, from his point of view, it's just part of a program.
Actually, now that you speak of this, right? There's this yeah. So in this TV show called Andor, right? It's another Star Wars movie lah.
Keep it down!
I'll show you this clip.
They could keep us here forever if they wanted.
It's enough from you, Melchor. Well, everybody settles down right now.
Something's wrong.
Whatever it is, they're taking their time about it.
What's going on? What are they saying? I think it's level 2.
All right.
I guess stay there now. Level 2.
What do you think? It's a week for one word to get all the way up.
Actually, not sorry. Actually, this particular what happened is that right, these guys are currently in prison. So every time, right, where they tell you to stop what you're doing, right? They'll say go to program.
Oh,
happened down on.
So it's like a brainwashing method lah.
They made a mistake.
Of Chinese ethnic stock, and I think this is
Chinese,
crucial. I mean,
yeah.
if you ask me to speak as a Chinese,
As an ethnic Chinese.
yeah, well, the Chinese People's Republic in Peking will be, I think, quite rightfully indignant, and so will the other aspirant in Taipei. But speaking as a Singaporean, with some of the built-in memory programming of the Chinese people, I would say that if you believe that the Chinese people will just splinter up into so many warlord communist committees, each governing a province or even part of a province, then you will make one of the gravest mistakes about Asia. I think I've traveled around the world often, and people don't know that I come from Singapore, and they treat me as a Chinese or as a Chinaman in the old days, as they used to call them. And they used to say, Chiang Kai-shek, in the middle 40s, and nowadays, of course, Mao Zedong. I'd say that they are determined as a people to unify and build a modern, powerful, wealthy Chinese nation. And I say good luck to them. And I think the moment they get prosperous, good luck to me, because I'll be much safer. I don't believe, however, the simple theory that they're just going to send their armies across and eat up Southeast Asia. It's too simple. And it's too simple for you, for the Americans, and for us, because then it's naked aggression. The whole of South Asia will gel together and meet an incoming invader. But they've got this make-it-yourself kind of revolution. Wars of national liberation. Here's the text. We've got an instructor, he'll teach you how to organize, and we'll slip you a few guns and more if necessary. And if it gets more difficult, well, surface-to-air missiles, and so on. And I think this is the problem, that each of the individual governments in that region must use the time that you are buying in South Vietnam for the rest of the world, particularly Southeast Asia. I'm not saying you're...
When he used the word, because today we use the word educated, but is educated and program a different word or different meaning or like different action? I just not too sure now, because
okay.
Yeah, I like because actually when the ChatGPT was released, right, it's educated, it's trained. So they don't think that it's programmed, because actually you don't program ChatGPT. You give them data, then they use the transformer, right? The transformer concept, and it's a better way to learn. But if you ask me, did we program ChatGPT? Actually, not true, because the AI, they learn themselves. Of course, they only know how to chat, just like the image AI that you show me is like they generate image, but they don't 100% understand the meaning of the image. They just try to be as accurate as possible. And the mistake that the image AI that you show me is definitely they are not trained to know what is human, because the reason why a lot of mistake is because from the AI point of view, he don't understand why human has to behave like that. He already tried to copy as much as possible. So yeah, so I mean, I'm just saying, I'm a bit impressed that I'm just don't know how much different between human and AI sometimes, because most of our education is to force people to be like a robot. Actually, we are trained to download the data. Like what I always say is like, we human, like when we go to the classroom, are we hard disk or are we AI? The problem that I found is most of the human are hard disk. We are like a USB. Yeah, we are just like a USB stick to the motherboard. I mean, a connection, and then we download the data. So who is the intelligent student are not those who has the AI capability or a very good random access memory. It's more like people who can download the data fast enough, and is the data that we download, the correctness of the data is like, is it 100% same or different? So I think our education system is like, we try to be like a hard disk and downloading and uploading the data. So in the human world, they don't recommend people like ChatGPT. Actually, even in human world, human race doesn't appreciate people who can think or who can try to understand what they are learning. Imagine if you are doing this, right? So since in the kindergarten, you, based on how fast you download the data and how similar your data with the data that they want you to download. So they never need you to upload the data. So it's not even a cloud. So I mean, our education system, we are not even a cloud. Maybe until you are a PhD, a master student, then you are part of the cloud that you have the right to upload, instead that your job is to download. So when I first hear like Lee Kuan Yew use the word program, so for me it's like, what are we programmed to by our education system?
Schools, right? Are we the program? Are we the hard disk? Are we the AI? It got me thinking again. To begin with, when we are kids, right, we don't know what we don't know. We do not know what we need to know, and we do not understand the natural order of the world that we're in. So unfortunately, lah, right, during our early ages, right, we have to be the hard disk.
Yep.
It is just a natural order of things to receive education as a hard disk.
Yep.
That's why we don't really have it, because we haven't developed cognitive. We may have not developed cognitive function, as in like the ability to think on our own feet. So we have to like they have to keep throwing data, like how remember the movies I keep showing you, and just now when we were doing testing out on the the AI image, right? We had to keep throwing and throwing data and questions. So then that brings me to my next question. But as far as I know, now we have a symbiotic relationship whereby we ask the question and we are rewarded with the answer. Ask the question to ChatGPT and we are rewarded the answer. Ask the question to the playground AI, which is the image generator, we are rewarded with the image.
Yep.
So, but behind the back, right, they are gathering the AI or the database manager, right, is gathering all our questions and building a profile of us. So then if you notice, you ask me, wow, Bob, you so fast get all the what's it called, all the videos, and you remember all the videos. It's because the AI drip feed me like over the few days, right? They keep showing the content I may need. And coincidentally, on, right, when you start, Dropbox, remember Dropbox?
Yep.
At the beginning, right? Oh, you tell your friends about Dropbox, you get 250 megabyte of of extra storage space.
Yep.
So first it starts with one friend and then many friends. Yeah, I got so many storage already.
Yep.
So what it's trying to do is try to gather what's the objective of that, to get users, ma.
Yes.
So this objective now is the same thing, is to get you to ask the question. At the same time, because you have an account, they're building a profile of you.
Yeah, but I think what's so intelligent, the next level about the thing that you are trying to say is, normally they are collecting your answers, but now they are next level, they are collecting your questions. So the problem is like, when they collect about your questions, is they are actually studying you, not studying the AI.
Yeah.
Of Jewish training, right? The Jewish
Yep.
story, they will say Asian parents will ask the kids about how well they score, but the Jewish parents, they will ask the children, what question did you ask? So for me, it's interesting.
Oh.
You are saying that the open AI is like the Jewish parents. They don't care about the answer, they care about your questions. So
Yeah. Okay. With that in mind, right, I noticed two things also that right, it opened another thing. China, right, already have two data collection apps in the world.
okay.
The first data collection app is WeChat. Number one, it knows about your personal things.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, it knows about your financial because of WeChat wallet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Number three, they have this product called TikTok or
Yeah.
Douyin.
Oh, okay.
They know exactly what content you are looking at. They know exactly what to push. Where is your political idea? They are way ahead of all of us.
Talking about, because even Elon Musk, he's very envy that in China there's Tencent, which is a super apps, is like so advanced. Because one of the reason I know
Yep.
Elon Musk acquired Twitter is he hoped that Twitter can become the American version of Tencent. So yeah, he's very envious. He is envious of Tencent that they managed to do everything. But even Tencent have done everything, but I think they are still so behind with the AI. And TikTok, I heard that TikTok is very stressed now because of the US potential ban. But the bigger stress is the ChatGPT, because they think that in a very short term there will be a lot of AI to make videos, to make a lot of content. So we don't know. We don't know what's right. But yeah, I do agree that Facebook, Meta, TikTok, Instagram is always about attention. So they try to, it's more like FOMO and fear. It's like fear of missing out, not fear of, yeah, it's not fear of,
You're creating fear, inciting fear to make you to influence you to buying that product. That was my first, that was our first topic of the day with a
yes,
demonstration and with evidence. Oh
yes,
my God.
yes. And then the ChatGPT is interesting because it's the other way around, they are not taking away your attention, but it's just like you deep inside your soul, what you want to ask. So I think it's very different way of collecting data, because
Yep.
normally like the China method, like the TikTok or the Instagram, is not collecting your data. I mean, is collecting your attention. And then when there's attention, you're forced to watch it. That is your data. But for me, it's the stupid data. I would say it's a stupid big data, because you collect so much so that you just know that people click it, people click like, so, and people click share. But maybe this data is low level. I mean, compared to YouTube, the YouTube analytics,
Yep.
which how when people watch YouTube, how many times they click on it, when they stop, did they jump, did they skip, or do they just enter and left? So where they come from, what country. So I think this is a higher level data, and like what you said is, I never thought this way, because I also try to test ChatGPT. But yeah, I think now it makes sense that the data that they collect is reverse psychology. It's like, it's not important with the answer, because Wikipedia, Google already done it. And it's not about creating attention. So the attention is so big that you forgot about your inner question. So what they do is they make everyone surrender their privacy, the desire to question with the ChatGPT. So whatever they collect is going to be this type of information from every single person, who joined the ChatGPT. So the data that is interesting is that with TikTok like every user in TikTok or YouTuber is to make sure you log in every day, is to make sure that when you open your browser, you have to go to Instagram. So it's an attention seeker. ChatGPT doesn't do any of those, but without you realize is OpenAI know your weaknesses, or they know that you are, how to say, like your hopelessness, because that is what they record, because you put your Christian inside. So I think in terms of big data, this is the next level that I just thought of after you mentioned.
Yeah, because the thing is that, right, remember what I just said, the I wouldn't the AI or the algorithm, right, it doesn't know what it doesn't know. The only, and then you watch the movie, right? How does it learn? Repetition, ma. So you give a set of rules. The game is tic-tac-toe, very simple, ma. Get a 3 straight line and you win. So he tried every single permutation as a player on its own. Because why? It keeps thinking, okay, I must not let you win. So it come up with multiple permutation. And then he applied the permutation into the nuclear launch strategy. And in the end of the day, what happened? All strategies failed. So what was the moral? What's the moral of the story? Don't play at all. Don't play in a nuclear war at all. So what I'm saying is that it doesn't know what is. So remember what we talk about, first we don't even have, because as a kid we don't have consciousness yet. We haven't developed that cognitive function. So now they're giving questions to develop cognitive function within a machine.